Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined today by Brady Kannon, Mr. Golf himself, at Las Vegas Golfer on Twitter. If you guys are not following Brady, you're missing out on all the pertinent golf information. We're here to talk 2019 Masters, though, so we're going to get some of your predictions, some of your picks. But let's start off by telling me how you actually handicap the Masters versus other things such as the Open or another course. What is so special about the Masters?
Well, first of all, it's obviously a very special tournament. The first major of the year, the 83rd Masters, a tradition like any other. It's just a wonderful golf tournament, an amazing golf course. The venue, the tradition, everything is just terrific about the Masters, and people get so fired up about it. It's the most bet golf tournament of the entire year, and I know a lot of local bookmakers that you're familiar with have said this is probably going to be the largest handle they'll have on the Masters in years because of Tiger. Tiger's playing well. He's in the field, and not only is he just in the field, he's going to be a contender. And then the star power in golf is absolutely amazing these days. I mean, there's probably 50 guys that could win the Masters this year, and the top 20 contenders, you know, it's like Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, you know, on down the list. It's just absolutely incredible golf right now. I think the sport is at a spot that it's never been before. The Masters is a course that has a great deal of history, and I mean a lot of repeatability, more so than any other tournament you'll play on tour. Things tend to happen year after year at the Masters because they play the same course, because there are not many changes to the course, the way you need to play the course. History tends to repeat itself. Guys that do well at the Masters typically continue to do well at the Masters. So that's one factor you have to take into your handicap. They call course form. If you play lousy at the Masters all the time, you're probably going to play lousy again. And then the other thing, you start to look at specific skill sets. It's a very long course. It's a monster. You have to be powerful off the tee. Now, we've seen some shorter hitters win, but it is an advantage if you have length off the tee. After that, it really becomes a short game. Your approach into the greens, hitting greens in regulation, and scrambling. We've all watched the Masters on TV and seen the incredibly fast greens and the slick surfaces and then the runoff areas. You have to be a magician, like Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods that have won this thing before, to be able to get your ball up and down from those collection areas up onto the green and not, you know, taking as few amount of shots to do that as possible. So that's kind of the combination at the Masters, big and powerful off the tee, and then an incredible short game. And if you can do that well all week, you ought to produce a winner.
All right, I'm going to give out Brady's promo code real quick. Take 50% off Brady's Master Package at WagerTalk.com using coupon code MASTERS50. All right, we're going to do another video with your sleeper picks and maybe some little tidbits on Tiger Woods. But give me who you like to win this, maybe a few different guys that you personally played.
Well, we talked off air about Paul Casey, and I think Paul Casey is a solid selection. You can find him in the neighborhood of 30 to 35 to 1. He just won a few weeks ago at the Valspar. He doesn't win often on tour, but he plays very well at Augusta. And we talked about course form and history. Casey has a very good history at Augusta. Usually it comes down to his putter. That's usually the weak spot for Paul Casey. An excellent ball striker, good off the tee, but if he can figure out the greens this week, he's a good shot. I really like Jon Rahm. Jon Rahm has that combination of power and length off of the tee and also creativity around the greens. Now, a lot of people will talk about Jon Rahm, you know, he's a head case and he tends to, if he has a bad hole, he blows up.
He is kind of a head case.
But I think this course lends itself to minimizing that problem that he has. And he's also continuing to progress. He's worked a lot with coaches about staying in the moment and, you know, forget that bad hole you had. Let's move on and don't grind on it and let it ruin your round. I think Augusta is a course where there's more room off of the tee, and he can probably, with his game, get into less trouble and should be able to avoid more moments like that than he might be able to at a different course. We also spoke about Mark Leishman. He's another player that I really like. He contended here last year. He went into the weekend with Patrick Reed in the final pairing before eventually finishing 9th. He finished 4th in 2013 when Adam Scott won it, and he was right there paired with Adam Scott, so he got to see his fellow countryman from Australia, how he got it done. Leishman has contended all over the world. He lost in a playoff at the British Open at St. Andrews in 2015. So Leishman is another guy that I think is about ready to kick in the major championship door. And then Louis Oosthuizen, the South African, just finished second to Paul Casey a few weeks ago at the Valspar Championship. Made it to 5th place in the match play a couple weeks ago in Austin, Texas. He lost in a playoff in 2012 to Bubba Watson at Augusta. So he has course form, course history, and good current form. So I think Louis is another player that you can take a look at. I was able to get him at 75-1 about a month ago, and now I think he's down to about 30 or 35. So
well, that's some great value.
Absolutely. We're rooting for Louis.
All right, guys, make sure you check out Brady's next video. We're going to talk sleeper picks, Tiger Woods. Also, you can get 50% off Brady's master package at WagerTalk.com using promo code MASTERS50.